Many videos on YouTube are missing this step of powering in the chemical to weaken the varnish and remove the locks, and you're able to count the wires and tell which size, even by visual eyes, to tell the size, count them and know what was the before turns, coil pitch, and all at a go. Then that's why I decided to start this motor in this way. But again, I can even give you another, I'll give you a link in the description box below to show you how you're going to wind, because in this motor video today there is no tricks of winding, they are missing, meaning you got to check on the other before video to see how slots are put in, but now I think you can see how they are removed, okay, which is a very good idea if at all you want to remove them and count the way they were put in. Above here in the corner we have the winding diagram, and this motor has bigger and small slots. So the bigger slots are in right here and the smaller ones are here, okay. So I'll give you other more in the video. Here is the wire, but the size and whatever, they are all in the description box below. You think you'll find it there clear. Here is the winding, then winding is also in the other video. So specifically this motor video was made for the connection. When you look at in the corner here, we have the connection, the starting, that is top, bottom, top. When you saw visible here, you can see even from this small phone here, there is that diagram that I made before, which was guiding me to tell on where to go at this step. Then when you strip your wire, because it is always insulated, strip it, then check which wire goes to which. And again, I was not supposed to cut this wire, but I ended up cutting it because it was supposed to be top, bottom, top, like that, but I made a mistake during winding and I had to cut. So I'm going to connect the way you're seeing in my upper corner here, how it is going to be connected. And remember, in a running coil we have two wires, so the two wires were doubled and again they were connected. So when you put on the sleeves, that sets us a way to go for the connection. In another motor where they are two, they all work as the one wire in the same way that you're just increasing the gauge. But now here the gauge remains at 20, but the wire, the connection commands us that the current runs twice in order to slow down the speed, and again the motor is low speed, normal speed, which is 1400. Okay, so 1400 is the motor speed, meaning that's a low speed motor run. When you're connecting, strip carefully your wire, and as I told you when I'm putting out my videos, I always give in more tricks to use. And you strip, you make sure that one top wire goes round, and again another bottom wire goes round of the same coil in a run. Then after that, the two wires will come out, whereby if at all it was this usual connection, I was going to join them, but now we're joining them here like the way I'm doing here. You see that? So when you join here like this, you remain with two wires just, meaning at this point I am able to test at every point and get continuity. So when my machine gives in, there is a popping sound which you may not hear now, but at least you will be able to see some codes, and like so, and the red light on, meaning continuity is through. So when I finalize with this connection, you will be able to see that on my checkups every point will be with current. Okay, so whenever you're connecting such a motors with very many connections or with very many outer leads, I always advise you to use this multimeter or continuity meter to test for the continuity in order to tell whether everything is perfect as it should be. Now you can see the red light on and codes, which are the figures on. And if at all here it is confusing you, that's why I went ahead and posted up that upper corner with the simple diagram in a pen, or by phone down here you can also see the winding below and the upper connection. So when you're done with that, you get to be careful, and when you watch my video from start to end, you always get more things that you may have been missing. Now in the other motor, these two wires were going to be like, for example here, this wire is going to run observing, because now this is the bottom wire, the top one is done right up here, so I'm going to the bottom. Now this is the bottom, like so, right there. Very simple things to deal with. So these are the two wires, but as well as if at all it was the other usual connection, I was going to strip them at a go and connect. But now every one wire goes differently. So now this is the top because the bottom was done. Now I'm putting on the top right there, like so. Then at the end there will be 4 wires. Then that is 1 1 2, which is okay. Then rest run to, yeah, this is also okay, because we have bottom and top, because we have the outer leads here from my phone. Okay, you see that? So this is a running top, bottom, so that we can get the outer lead from the bottoms. Yeah, so if at all you have been in motor winding, you can tell what a bottom is and what a inner is. If you have not been in motor winding for a long time, then you got to check in the other upper corner. The inner I'm talking about is that wire which is in the first slot. Then the outer is that wire which finishes up that winding. Okay, so that is the outer, and the inner is the one which starts. I think you can tell by the corner right there. Now on the halfway, you cannot deceive me that you haven't learned anything as we are going. So when I check these two, this is the in out, this is the downer, and everywhere at the downer there is continuity. You see that? Everywhere at the downer connection there is continuity, everywhere. But again at the upper leads there is no continuity. You see that? This is now the upper, no continuity. Okay, so please put on the sleeves right. And here we are going to do a crossover. We are going to get one lead from the upper and connect it to the one lead of the outer, so that when the power goes in the inner, runs and joins the outer of the upper and then gets out in the upper. You get that? Think it's quite hard to get. And because this was a mixer, it should have more torque to rotate. So this was done slowing down the speed in order to create more torque to mix up. So when we are done with this video, I have very many more videos, but as I told you before, I will not only stick on one thing. I'll have many other videos on motorcycle vehicles, and yeah, that way the better. So now I have 4 wires at the end. That is done. So I'm going to check for the upper continuity through, and again the downer continuity. So this is what I was talking about. Now this is one from the upper and one from the downer. Okay, downer and upper, that is it. And then after all that, please tape your joint before you sleeve it fully, because when you just sleeve it fully, yeah, sometimes that wire is sharp where you cut it. So when it is sharp, it may damage the sleeve, and then it links out to the housing. which is a very big mistake too. Okay, so please tape, and when you're taping you have to use a masking tape, because when you use these usual tapes they tend to wind up and sleeve off. So don't put in machines here, better use sticks or things that are not sharp pointed, which can damage your coil. Okay, so this joint is fully done, and we're going now to put on the outer leads. And I had this capacitor here, so I went up again to use, because I actually didn't want to meander up. But what this was done, why this was put on, is because they want to generate in torque. So this capacitor itself is in here to increase on torque, meaning this capacitor is a running, so you cannot just neglect it. You have to connect it back right there as I did. So this is one of my outer lead done. Then going to the next outer lead, let me first check if continuity is there. Yeah, right, fine. So once that red light gives up, that is an automatic issue that continuity is perfect. Then this is my second outer red. The first one was yellow, then red outer again. You please sleeve it right, and if at all you have a gun, you can I have it, but I did not go on to weld it by soldering wire. So now heading to the start, because now the run is done, that's it. Then heading to the run, still on the upper corner the run is connected, still top, and then bottom, top, in order to make your motor run the most. If you don't do it that way, you find that your motor will be running with a poor sound because of the poor flow of current, and the magnetic field will be generated in opposite side, giving it an upper hand to also run poorly in an opposite side. So please avoid that. Then when I'm here on tops, the ones that I called were at the bottom, and the ones that are straight up are the upper. So we are going to make sure that we don't do any mistake here, because once you do a mistake here, meaning you will be winding down here. Tying up was done. Why I tied up? Because sometimes when you're pulling to strip, and again I'm going to put in the 25 microfarad run capacitor on the start coil, and everything will be done. Now after connection, let me show you. This is the inner coming out from the outer, and then runs to the second next coil in the upper, then comes out in the inner, and then runs to the third coil in the inner, comes out in the outer, goes to the outer, and then comes out to the inner. So the two leads are going to be connected to the run for the starting coil to be perfect. Then I'm going to take the continuity checkup here. Yeah, once you see the code, meaning that at every point there is continuity, which is the best thing that we need to go with. Then from here we're now going to just test, because in every videos I will not show you how to, but make sure that you sleeve and then testing. So down here we have this testing leads, sorry, you see that? So down here we have that testing wire connection, and even I have another video that I posted of how to there are 3 ways you can connect your motor. I'm going to put that link also in this video down in the description, so that you can be able to tell perfect. Okay, that's it guys, thanks, give it up.